Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Growing Up Blue, where I post weekly vlogs about my Australian cattle dog puppies Rocket and Bindi and take you along on our training journey and puppy adventures. Today I will be showing you what an average day looks like for Rocket and Bindi. Before we get started, if you haven't already hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do it now. It really helps our channel out, and as always, I appreciate all of the support that you give to me and Rocket and Bindi. I also just wanted to give you guys a quick update that we are so close to reaching 1,000 subscribers. I know, it's crazy. It feels like it was only a few days or weeks ago that we started this channel in July, and now we're already here. So as a little celebration type thing, once we reach 1,000 subscribers, I will be doing a Q&A question and answer video for any of your guys' questions that you have about cattle dogs or Rocket and Bindi or just dogs in general. So if you guys want your questions to be answered, be sure to leave me a comment down below. I'll be polling questions for that video from the comments. So leave me a comment, ask me a question, and I will read your questions out loud in the Q&A video and respond to you guys there. I am very excited for it if you cannot already tell. Okay, so enough of all that, and let's get started. So this video is actually a very highly requested video. Ever since I posted my original puppy schedule for Rocket in July of 2020, you guys have been asking me for updated schedules, and I am finally giving you a video with an updated schedule. So I had originally made this schedule back in July when we were going to bring Rocket home and we were just prepping everything for him. So the schedule was really a way to establish a routine for him and also get potty training done fast and also work on crate training. And I'd say that that puppy schedule was pretty successful, and I did end up using it for Bindi when we brought her home. It's a really good schedule for brand new puppies around 8 weeks of age because, like I said, it does focus on the potty training. But obviously Rocket and Bindi are not 8 weeks old anymore, or 9 weeks or 10 weeks. They are now 4 months and 8 months, so they have grown a lot, and obviously their natural patterns have changed, and so it is time for an updated schedule. So now that Rocket is 8 months old and Bindi is 4 months old, the schedule has evolved and loosened a bit. We still have a routine, of course, but instead of focusing on things like potty training, we're more focused on things like a lot of exercise, which cattle dogs, as you all I'm sure know, need a ton of. I do want to give a couple of disclaimers before we dive into the schedule. So first, I am not professional by any means. I'm just sharing from my own experience. So if you have any questions about how much exercise your cattle dog needs, make sure you ask your vet. And two, this schedule will change. Now I say that because right now we are working from home and I am home basically all the time. I don't really go anywhere, and so I'm kind of always there to help the dogs whenever they need it or give them attention whenever they need it. So eventually I will go back to work in person, so that is going to change, which will affect the schedule. And also it is winter right now. So in Michigan, it's getting dark around 5 p.m., or at least it feels like it. And when it gets dark, it gets even more freezing. So a lot of our playtime after, 4:30 is indoor playtime. Of course, this is going to change when the weather warms up and the days get longer. So that is why I also say that the schedule will change. Now, when the weather does change, I will give you guys an updated video because I'm sure you will be curious, as am I, what it is going to look like when it is warmer out for Rocket and Bindi, and also when I finally go back to work in person. So keep that in mind as we are going through this video today, that this schedule is designed for someone who is home a lot like me. Now with all of that out of the way, I will put the schedule up here and let's get going. So if you guys want this schedule to download and hang on your fridge or something, I will put the link to download the schedule template in the description down below so you can get it there. If there are two main things that a cattle dog needs in life, it is a lot of exercise and a routine. Now I say routine because having routine helps a cattle dog, or just any dog in general, feel a lot more confident. It also helps to reduce any aggression or resource guarding. And by this I mean that if you set up your dog to eat dinner at 5:30 p.m. every single day, they won't have that fear inside of not knowing when their next meal will come, so they will be a lot more confident and happy. Routine also helps cattle dogs be a lot more manageable. For example, when we take Rocket for a morning walk, we know that he is going to have a mid-morning nap. But if for some reason we skip that morning walk, I can almost guarantee you that Rocket and Bindi will be running zoomies all over the house. So if we're looking at the overall schedule, you can see that Bindi and I wake up at 4:30 a.m. for a potty break. Rocket can make it all the way through the night, and Bindi is getting pretty close, but she still does need that one potty break. Now this morning when I was filming this footage, she got up at 3:30 a.m., which I thought was kind of weird because she is spot on with 4:30. And so it did make sense though when we woke up at 5:15 a.m., which is our normal wake up time, but she was throwing up sticks that she had chewed, I guess, the day before. So that of course was a fun way to wake up and start the day. And yes, Bindi has been sleeping on my bed because of these middle of the night potty breaks and it being so cold outside. It's just been easier this way. So even though this morning did involve cleaning up Bindi's stick puke, our normal wake up time is between 5:15, 5:30. Sometimes Rocket and Bindi let us sleep until 6, but normally 5:15 to 5:30. And at that point we get up, we go downstairs, we go potty, and then we pour some coffee and kind of just relax a little bit until 6:30 a.m. when it is time for breakfast. So like I mentioned earlier, cattle dogs can get food aggressive and resource guard, and unfortunately lately Rocket hasn't been too happy seeing that Bindi also gets to eat meals and he doesn't just get to eat all of the food. So we've been working really hard on combating that food aggression, which I will go into much more in a later video, and I'll also talk about a little bit more at dinner time when I go through the schedule today. But for this purpose and preventing any sort of food aggression, which they say is the #1 step, is preventing it before it happens, in the mornings we just put Bindi in her pen and feed her food there, and Rocket we feed on the other side of the kitchen where he can't see her eating. At 6:45 a.m. we are all done with breakfast and one of us takes Rocket for a walk while another person stays inside with Bindi and works on training or just plays. Lately she's enjoyed playing with her ball. Now I get asked a lot about how much exercise we give our healers, and I will say we aim to give them an hour and a half of exercise per day, and this is going to be any sort of human to healer exercise. So this will include us going and taking them for a walk or us going and playing ball with them. So that adds up to an hour and a half, as you'll see as I go through the schedule. Now what that hour and a half doesn't include is any of the non-stop wrestling or running around the backyard that they seem to do. So that time is just the human to healer, and it doesn't count having 2 healers and them going crazy. So I'm sure that they're getting a lot more exercise than an hour and a half. But us judging how much exercise we personally give them and having that number is super helpful because we know what to aim for each day, and we kind of know like at that point that's where they'll be tired enough to maybe lay down and take a nap, but it's not too tired well they'll go past the point of exhaustion and just keep running around with the zoomies. So anyways, Rocket's morning walk lasts for 25 minutes, and then at 7:10 a.m. both Rocket and Bindi go into the backyard and we play ball outside with them for about 10 minutes. At 7:20 a.m. they come inside and they begin their indoor playing / wrestling as I get ready for work. At 8 a.m. they generally are about ready for a nap since they have been up for a while and gotten a lot of exercise already. If for some reason they aren't ready to lay down, I'll give them a Kong to kind of calm them down, or I'll give them like a chew toy or a chewy treat in their crate, and then they'll definitely be asleep by about 9 a.m. Then they're just sleeping and lounging around until about 11 a.m. And at that point, the indoor playtime picks up again, maybe with some toys this time or just each other. Bindi thinks that she is a mountain goat and just climbs on everything, and I think her favorite game is couch obstacle course, and she really likes Rocket chasing her around and around in circles. She'll instigate and provoke him to start chasing her up the couch, down the couch, under the kitchen table and back. A nice little loop, but whatever, they're healers, we knew what we were signing up for. And at 12:15 p.m. they go outside for some more ball time. It's for about 10 to 15 minutes, which is actually a lot of running and mental stimulation for them. So by 12:30 they're ready to eat lunch. After we're done with lunch, 12:45 p.m. is a potty break, and then a little bit more outside time of them running around. And then at 1 p.m. we lay back down for another nap. Now if we're lucky and if they really did a lot of running with all the balls so far today, this nap will last anywhere from them an hour to 2.5 hours, but they're generally up by about 2:30 p.m. At this time, they go outside on their own for a potty break, and after a few laps around the yard, they come back inside. I feel like they would stay outside forever on their own, but in these freezing temperatures, I try not to let them stay outside too long because I don't think it's very safe for them. At 2:40 p.m. they do some more indoor playtime and chewing, and then by 4 p.m. they are ready for their afternoon walk. Now, while Rocket only goes on the morning walk because he's older and his joints can take more, both Rocket and Bindi go on the afternoon walk, which takes about 25 minutes. We've been working on walking them with just one person too, but that has kind of been a struggle, as you can see. And Bindi always gets so excited when it's time to go for a walk that she whines at the front door, being like, hurry up, put on your shoes faster. And then Rocket, on the other hand, is always hesitant to put on his harness and kind of plays a game where he walks away every time we try to slip it on his head. He's getting better, but it's just a thing that he has. But I know every single time we go out that front door and he's walking, he gets so much mental stimulation and just loves all of it. He loves seeing the cars go by, the people, any animals that we see, perhaps other dogs. I know that he's having a blast. Right after our walk, they get some water, and then they go into the backyard at 4:25 p.m. and they, yep, you guessed it, play their favorite game of ball for about 10 to 15 minutes. After that, they are good and tired, so we have some indoor relaxation time until 5:30 p.m. 5:30 p.m. means that it's dinner time and they are ready for it. So this meal is when we work on the food aggression / resource guarding with Rocket. What we'll do is we will put harnesses and leashes on both of the dogs, and then we will put a bowl of food in the middle of the floor. Now this is intended to be Bindi's, and we'll start with both Rocket and Bindi on other sides of the room, and we'll slowly walk them together towards the bowl. Now Rocket will stop further away from the bowl than Bindi. She actually goes up and starts eating from the bowl. Now the goal here is to, of course, stop any negative behavior before it starts. So by letting Bindi walk up and eat, Rocket can see that, and before he has a chance to react, we give him a really high value treat. So he's just getting showered in all these treats and praises that he's doing so good when Bindi gets to eat. So hopefully he will associate all this positive reinforcement with Bindi eating, and that he can just be like, hey, when she eats, I get really good treats. So go ahead, Bindi, you eat all you want. And I have to say, I think that this has been pretty successful so far. I'm not going to take credit for the method. This is something that you can read more about online, but I think that this technique has definitely, loosened up a Rocket a bit. Instead of being so tense and about food, he's chill, and sometimes they'll even share a lick pad on a really good day. And Rocket doesn't really mind as much anymore when she gets a milk bone at the same time as him in a less controlled situation than when we're feeding. After dinner, it's time for a potty break, and it is dark and cold outside, so it is more indoor playtime. This generally involves wrestling and chasing each other and napping, and then wrestling and chasing each other and napping, and again and again and again. Sometimes they act like real dogs and lay on the couch, as we're watching TV, just kind of relax. But then other times, of course, they're just running zoomies in circles around the house. We're still working on good indoor activities for this time when the zoomies may arise. We're trying to catch the zoomies before they happen and stop them, because I think that this is just over-exhaustion, and neither Rocket or Bindi want to miss anything that is going on, or anything that the other dog is doing, or any food that the other dog might be getting. So finding a way for us to balance this, and maybe just like putting Bindi in her crate and putting Rocket in his crate and giving like a forced nap time, that might help us alleviate these zoomies in the future. At 8 p.m. they finally calm down for the night, and they start to sleep either on the couch or on the floor in their crate. And then at 10 p.m. we wake them up for one more potty break, and then we go upstairs to bed. And then of course we do it all again the next day. That's all for today. I know it was a long one, so thank you so much to all of you who watched it through with me, and I hope it helped. If you still have questions, remember to drop them in the comments down below, because I will be doing that Q&A video as soon as we hit 1,000 subscribers, so I can answer any of your questions on video, and you'll be able to hear me talk through them, which might be a little bit easier to understand than me typing paragraphs photographs for you. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below. While you're at it, turn on the notification bell to never miss a vlog growing up blue and stay up to date on all things Australian cattle dogs. And be sure to leave me a comment down below. I go through and read all of them and respond to you guys. So I want to know, do you guys have a set amount of exercise that you try to give your healers per day? Like how I said that we give them an hour and a half, do you have a specific time that you aim for? And if so, what do you do to accomplish that time? Do you do walks? Do you do ball like us? Or do you have some other trick up your sleeve that I need to know? Let me know, leave me a comment down below. Also, if you haven't already watched it, I did just post a video of how I groom Rocket and Bindi, and the video does include how I get them to sit still for baths and brushing. Yes, you heard me right. I got them to sit still and I use a little secret called a lick mat. So make sure you guys check that out here. As always, thank you so much for watching and I will see you next week. Bye everyone!